Hello, everybody. So honored that you're here tonight. I want to talk deeply and openly from my heart tonight. And because of that, tonight, at least while I talk, the chat and the questions are going to be off. And the reason they're going to be off is because if I'm looking at the chat, I'll be busy trying to answer the questions that you have and not being able to speak from my heart. And I want to speak from my heart. Because my heart has so much to say. It really does. And if you don't know, a week ago, some accusations came out against me. And these accusations were big, and these accusations were a lot, and these accusations were challenging for all of us, for the person making the accusations, for the people around that person, for the public, and for me. And I know that there's kind of an assumption or an expectation of how I should respond. A lot of people said to me, why haven't you responded to these allegations right away? And the truth is, I didn't know what to say. And there's a lot of expectation of certain ways that I need to respond to these allegations. That why don't you just own it and say you're sorry? And why don't you just do this? And I'm like, because right now, at the point when those allegations came out, and quite a bit recently too, I've been feeling trauma in my body. I felt trauma. And I know that there's a part of you that might go, Kyle, this isn't about you. Well, I'm going to start by telling you what I know. I can only tell you what was in my body and talk about what I'm learning through this. I know that my body was in trauma when I read the accusations. And I know that if I responded from a place of trauma, it wouldn't bring love to the table. It wouldn't bring healing to the table. There was a lot of pain and a definite other side to the story that I had that I hadn't even had a chance to bring to the table. And even though a lot of people have an opinion about this, there's still only two people who were there. And we both have different sides to the story. I'm in a debate even if I want to say my side of the story. Because I, first of all, just want to make sure that I'm in a place of love for this entire thing. Our events are called Evolving Out Loud. And the reason they're called that is because there is no part of me that sees me as some reverend or some, therapist with all the answers. I see myself as someone who's doing these events too. I do these events live. And if you watch me on stage, you watch my inner child figure stuff out. I know that we live in a world that says if a person's on stage, if a man is doing this, he's abusing his power. Let me tell you something. I never considered that. I never saw myself as someone in power. I see myself as opening my heart and showing you the biggest inner child that I can be. I'm showing you all of my intimacy, all of my open-heartedness, all of my freedom, every part of me. To me, women have the power. To me, they do. In my life, they have power. They're amazing and beautiful and wonderful, and I want to connect with them, and I hope that they don't not like me, and I hope they don't shame me, and I hope that I don't hurt anyone. I don't see myself as someone who has power. And I'm learning today that that's how some people can see me. What I know is that I had a completely consensual relationship with a woman. That woman instigated certain things and then wanted a relationship with me for 2 months. We had 2 months of joyous phone calls, FaceTimes, laughter, and everything else. And then when it ended, as far as I knew, it ended on good terms. And then there was a total different feeling about us. And this came out. And then when this came out, another woman said she also had a relationship with me. This woman, as far as I knew, was a friend of mine, and we were actually going to get lunch on Thursday. Then 3 different people who had actually hit on me and I rejected came out and said, "Me too." I have to tell you, it's horrifying to me how hard it is to respond in this environment. I am here to grow. I am here to grow in front of you. I'm here to create the safest space by transcending my trauma with you. I have nothing but love in me for the people involved, for everyone involved, and for you. Right now, I'm sure this brings up so much for all of us. And if it does, I know for a fact that's because we all have stuff in us that hurts. I've learned a lot from this. One of the things that happens when I meditate and I connect and get truly intimate is I truly lose the labels that say, this is a client and I'm a speaker. I just see you as a person and I'm a person. 2, don't keep secrets. Because even if you think no one sees it, God sees it. And that's a huge mistake that I've made. And I apologize with all my heart. I can tell you one thing for sure, is that I want to be better. I learned and I'm looking and I'm just starting the process of learning. There's so much I don't know about this. And it's caused me to really look at me and what I've become in certain ways. And there are certain aspects of it that are terrible, that I don't want to be anymore. And I know once I see something, I'm capable of changing it. But I have to see it first. I have to see it first and then be in the pain that I have that new revelation. And that's going to take time. But there's a lot of things that I saw. I saw that by being in a gray area in different areas of my life, that it can be really easy to hurt people. And I'm truly sorry. I felt so many different things in the last week. I felt defensive, protective, really apologetic, guilty, sad, scared. And it seems to me that I feel different things at different times. Like I can only tell you what I'm feeling right now. I'm sure tomorrow there will be another part of me that's so apologetic and sorry. And then there's another part of me that says, no, this is bullshit. This is what happened was this way. All I want to do is grow. And all I want to do is love. And all I want to do is make better anything that felt bad. So to the woman who made the accusation, I apologize with all my heart. Truly. To anyone else who felt unsafe in any way, I apologize with all my heart. Truly. To people in my life that were hurt by this, I apologize with all my heart. I don't know what the trauma is that's in my body. I don't know what it's from. I really don't. But I know that this is so big in my life that I have to find a place to go past it. Weirdly, on the night that this was posted, right before that, I said out loud to the universe, connect me with my soul, no matter what the cost. boy, did it respond. I've had life just good enough that my circumstances were just good enough that there was a level of growth that I was able to do within my control. But I know that right now I'm in a low to grow. I'm in a low to bring a new level of healing to myself. I'm in a low to bring a safe man to this planet. I'm in a low to bring the real version of myself to the world. I'm sure this is bringing up so much in you. Because it is in me. And you're probably looking at this going, why is he even saying this? What is he coaching us? This is the truest I got right now. I'm not some person with power in my eyes. I'm just Kyle. And I want to offer you to not need someone else to be a safe space and make yourself a safe space. One of the mistakes I made was trying to find people and making them safe spaces. I started performing as a comedian when I was 12 years old. I lived on stage. Every night I was on stage and I would meet a different group of people. Every night, more people, more people, more people. And it just started becoming normal to me to see that life is living in hotels, meeting people after shows, hanging out, partying, hooking up. That was just life. I didn't have a foundation. There could be someone at home, but I'm in a different city every night, meeting different groups of people. I don't know if this trained me or if it's just in me that this is how I see things. But I'm just used to opening my heart to people, even if I just met them. I really want a connection, but I'm always in a new place. I really want a deep connection, but I'm always in a new city. I want love. I want intimacy. I want connection and friendship. So it's become a thing that I do without even seeing it, to fully open my heart to someone. And that might put them in a position to think that they need to be a safe space for me. And I apologize for that. Sometimes I really can be like a little kid who just wants to open his heart way too much. That's why I make videos all the time from my couch and tell you the first thing I'm thinking. That's the best I know. I've been through many, many, many different relationships, always thinking this is the thing, this is the one, this is the way to go. But either my body or my training or something else in me says, yeah, but that's the one, or that person's the one. And I sincerely think it. That person is this person in my life. That person's this person in my life. So I get excited to connect. And that's my inner child. And that's the part of me that's dying in this process. That part of me that needs someone outside of me to be safe. Because as this happened, there have been so many people in my life who were safe and I didn't see it. And I lost them. And it's forcing me to be safe for myself. Not just open to anybody and not just be like da-da-da, da-da-da-da, but be safe with myself. Because obviously, if I don't feel safe with myself and I'm making you my safety, then you're much more my mother than, a partner. And obviously I'm not in my power and I'm not in my man. And you're here in this place where, I'm expecting you to be the space that I open to. And then eventually I think that's love, but it's actually approval. So I'm sorry for anyone who I put in a position to be a space of approval. Truly. That's an element that I'm ready to change. That's an element I'm being forced to change. That's an element I'm changing right now. it's been really weird experiencing the ways that I'm supposed to respond to this. Just if you run the motions of past things like this, like I see things that say, why don't you just own it and leave? All I can own is what I'm telling you right now. Because that's what's true. That's what's true. On my life, that's what's true. So I can only own that. And if I own what I'm being told to own, then I'm just being told to lie. And if I'm being told when to own it, I'm being told to be what I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to be, but all of that feels not organic. All of that feels not true. As cliche as it is, I know there's an energy that's right here. And I know that that's the energy I have to connect to. And I've made the mistake of trying to connect to different energies, not this one. And for me to grow and continue to do what I do as a person, not even as a speaker, performer, or comedian, I have to make this first. And I don't mean like a cliche thing. I'm making this first. I want to be better. I want to bring a higher dimension to the world. I want to be a safe man. I want to use what's come out in the last week in an amazing way. I want to do work for women's shelters. I want to do things that contribute to society. I want to bring awareness to this. I want to offer other men to see themselves through the mistakes that I've made or whatever. I want to be that safe space. I really do. Sincerely. Not only for you, but for my daughter. The mistakes that I've made were not obvious mistakes to me. Until now. They're obvious. And I see it. And it'll never happen again. As this hits trauma for some of us, I want to just offer what I'm going through right now, which is seeing if there's a place of love that can go past it, because usually we only do the work until we hit trauma. We only do the work until we hit trauma and we go, that's too much for me. And then we bail. And then life is within our trauma bounds. This has been so big that it's past my trauma. So I'm accessing something that's bigger than that trauma. And I think that's the way to create change. To go through that part of you that can feel really dark things, that has really dark suicidal thoughts, that has really deep, dark things. There's a level past that. Because the only thing that's happened to me is my past story is falling. And it's making room for what I want to be. And again, I can hear people saying, address the person that said that. All I can say is, I'm here to hear what you want to tell me. I'm happy to sit with you in a safe space and hear what you want to tell me. I'm happy to bring all the love into this. I want to bring healing into this. I want to bring huge hugs to this. I want to bring therapy to this. I want to bring change to this, because everything is changeable. So if you were hurt by anything I did, I want to learn from you and I want to change it. I want to reach out to you, but I want it to be safe for you. I want you to reach out to me. I want to give you hugs. I want to give you love. I want to bring love to this. I want to do that for anyone. I want to bring love to this. I really believe that I've made a mistake, and I believe we all make mistakes. And my job is to bring love to this. And I'm sure I'll make different mistakes that I don't know right now. But right now, the mistakes that I've made, I now see I've made. So it'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. I've learned what you can lose. I've learned what you can hurt. I've learned how big it can get. And I'm so thankful for the world and the way the universe works for making sure that I get it. For making sure that I understand it. It goes, no, look what can happen. You're going to get it for a while, okay? A huge shift this week for me was, at first I was worrying about things falling, and I felt really dark thoughts. I was like, what am I going to do about this and this and this? And then there was a big shift in my life when yesterday morning I said yes to this. I said yes. I say yes to this. I receive and understand that this is inevitable. It's the only way I'll meet what I actually am, because I know that the only thing that's falling apart in my life is what I'm not. And I know for anyone involved, that's the only thing that's trying to fall apart is what we're not. So I'm here to offer healing to the woman who came out and say, I am sorry with all my heart. Please forgive me. How can I make it better? How can I make it better? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it better? I would love to be someone who makes this better. I would love to have a reason for this happening that we can't see right now. But I will spend the rest of my life working on how to do that. I want to make it better, truly. I want to make me better. I want to make me stronger. I want to listen. I want to learn, and I want to care about this. I care about this. I'm sure there are a lot of people hurting. And I care about this. I care about you. And I care about me. I'm really sorry. Please receive that. Please receive that, not only from me, but to allow yourself to release yourself from anyone who's ever hurt you. I'm on this planet for one reason and one reason only: growth and love. So I guess 2. It's scary to say this because I know that you've had a week to hear one side. And then I've watched as other people added to it things that weren't true, or different people said different things, or it became bigger, it became more exaggerated, like a horrifying game of telephone. And then I'm saying something now that's screwing with a belief that you've had for a week. But there's only 2 people that know what happened. That's it. And one's been talking the most. That's why I had the chat off tonight, because I want to be able to talk from my heart. I want to be a warrior for protection of feminine energy. I want to be strength. I want to be humble. I want to take some time to learn who I am. I want to bring the new depth that I have into what I'm doing. And I want to keep evolving out loud in front of you. I had people say, do you think you can be a safe space to hold space for people? I understand that question. And maybe we can sever that need and we can be our own safe space. And you can see evolving out loud as ideas, insights, and entertainment, but not the answer. I don't want to be your answer. I don't want to be on a pedestal. It's way too much pressure for me, and it's way too much pressure for you. If you want me on a pedestal, or any other speaker, or any other reverend or teacher, or anyone else, then you're putting high expectations on them, and you're putting high expectations on yourself. And I have a ton of problems. I have a ton of problems, and I want to bring them out in front of you. I have always said, I don't have the answer. You do. And I still stand by that. I have a ton of issues that I want to change, that I want to bring. I want to be vulnerable and scared and off and crying and open and real. Don't put anyone on a pedestal, including yourself. I am just a dude who fucks up a lot. And the second I see it, I am ready to own it. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my team. I'm sorry to my daughter. I'm sorry to Christy. I'm sorry to my friends. Please receive that. Please receive that. Please forgive me for all of our healing. I want to say the names of any person that was involved, but I know that I want to also respect their privacy. But I'm sorry. I know that making this better isn't just a quick change. I know that it's a long process. And Michael Beckwith asked the question, my favorite question, what would I need to become? And I know it's patient and present, open, honest, and willing to do the work. I've been so humbled by this. And I'm doing what I can to get into the woman's heart who is hurt. And I have to be honest with you, there's still more room for me to do that. I'm in there the most I can be right now. And I'm also reacting to that I have a different perspective of what happened. And that gets in the way. So there's still work to bring my understanding to this, my understanding to her. And I say that because I don't just want to say the words, I get it, I get it, I shouldn't. I want to really understand what that felt like. I want to understand what it did to you, and I want to learn a new level of empathy for you, truly, or anyone else, because as far as I knew, everything was fun for 2 months. As far as I knew, everything was a blast for 2 months. And then what my experience was, the narrative changed. So I'm still working on processing and learning what I can't see while still feeling my part that feels unseen. And that we live in a time where it's kind of not allowed to feel seen. Like the amount of emails I got that just said, just shut up and listen, or, just shut up and apologize. It's like from people that weren't there. It's scary. It's like, it's just a given that I don't have another side, that it's just a fact what she said. And I can tell you, no matter what happened, event by event, my heart was totally pure. Whatever I did, I didn't see I was doing it. I have no intentional desire to trick or hurt or do anything to anybody. We had both been meditating for 5 days, and we had accessed a place of love that was so powerful. Then we went to dinner. And we were in this oneness phase because we had both released a ton of trauma and felt very free, very connected. She asked me to dance in the restaurant. We went back, she made drinks. She said the words, I'm worried I'll regret this if I do it, but I'm more worried I'd regret this if I don't. And then she instigated a second time. And the fall apart that I had at the meditation retreat had nothing to do with that. I was able to go on the stage not without sleep many times in my life. It's that I also had been doing an event talking about my inner child in the movie Pete's Dragon, and talking about my fear of abandoning audience members. And that's another problem that I have. I do feel close with people, so I get worried they're mad at me a lot. And I'm like, don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me. And I brought up the movie Pete's Dragon, which was probably the first movie I ever saw, and I talked about it the whole time, this childhood movie of mine. And I felt a buildup that week of holding space for so many people. And on day 6, happened to be after I was with the person. On day 6, I was about to go on stage, and Marie was backstage with me and said, you stay here. Let's make your heart bigger than the show. And I thought, that's true growth. So I fell apart and cried. went back home. She went to her home. She wanted a relationship. I said, I don't want to move to your place and have 3 kids. She said, I don't want to fuck with God. Because we felt we were at an ascended consciousness. As I tell you this, I actually feel scared to tell you this. I feel like my side is not allowed. But that happened. And then we just kind of gray area dated over the phone, and for 2 months had a blast. I don't even know if you want to hear that. I don't know if you're interested in that, but that's my perspective of it. Then it just changed. And she was someone that I didn't only see as a client. She had become a dear friend. And one of the things that kills me is how funny she is and how fun she is and how much fun we had. And we were friends. We were friends for 6 months before that. So we met at the meditation retreat at a coffee shop outside before. It didn't feel to me like a client. I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm saying it just didn't feel like that in my heart. I make the mistake sometimes of seeing people as people, truly. And I'm sorry for that. I understand. After training myself as a comedian for 20 years, I make the mistake of thinking that's what I'm doing. But I get that my job also is now, especially, to create boundaries. And I am in fully. I'm in. And I'm sorry they weren't there before. This is real growth. I wouldn't work with anyone who claims to have the answers. I just have the questions. What do I need to become? Who do I need to apologize to? How do I make this better? How can I bring healing to the world? How can I do that here to help create a space for other people to be able to forgive themselves? We need forgiveness. We need apologies. Right now, I'm on please forgive me. I apologize to you sincerely. I apologize for not being that safe space. I'm ready to now. A lot of people are asking if the meditation retreat's happening next week. It is, and I'm bringing in support, other speakers too, so that if I'm feeling off or need to connect to myself or whatever, other great speakers will also go up. To me, this would be the most powerful way to do this. The me that used to do the meditation retreats is nothing compared to this, because that me was still within those boundaries of that trauma. And now I'm past it. So I offer to the person, I'm here if you want to talk. I'm here if you want to make up. I'm here if you want to heal this. Privately, publicly, with a therapist, whatever is needed. I'm here to make it better. How can I make it better? How can I make it better? Thank you for hearing me tonight. I've had a week of seeing what you're saying. And I had also a part of me that had to get away from it because it was so hard. I actually have a different phone, and almost all the numbers in my phone aren't there. And I'll tell you, there's over 7,000 phone numbers in the old phone because I meet new people every day. It's just the life that I've had. So I don't know anything more than that. Meeting people, feeling a heart-to-heart connection without establishing anything, without establishing boundaries, without establishing anything. It's enmeshment. And now I have a new phone with 30 people having those phone numbers. So I'm done with enmeshment. I'm done with that gray area confusion. That gray area confusion that I have where my partner and I are broken up, now we're together, we're broken up, now we're together. The amount of times we broke up and then got together created this horrible gray area. The enmeshment of, no, you're a client, no, you're a partner, you're a client, you're a person. I don't want that ever again. I own that was a mistake. And in the middle of it, I just couldn't see it, truly. In the middle of it, I just couldn't see it. It felt like two grown-ups having a nice dinner, having a nice connection, both in their vulnerability. Two 5-year-olds in 40-year-old bodies, having fun. I'll dedicate the rest of my life to using this for the good of the world, taking this and making something amazing with it. I want to make the world so different, make my world so different and make the rest of the world so different that we look back at this and go, well, if that hadn't happened, then this wouldn't have happened. So again, I own everything fully. And I know under all of this, the two of us are still just 5-year-olds wanting to be seen. And I'll never forget day 5 of the retreat when I came downstairs and she was downstairs and we'd both just been healed and I gave her a hug. And it felt like the entire room turned into the sea clearing out. And we felt so connected. And we talked about that for like a month. But I know that's what this is. I know that our scared kids are here. This world is scary for all of us. And 2020 is really scary. And if you want to see something really, really weird, Teal Swan made a video about 2020 and she said 2020 is when all the secrets come out. I didn't know she meant starting with me. All of our secrets are coming out. And let me tell you, there's liberation on the other side of that. All our secrets are coming out. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're holding it in, that's blocking us from source. I have felt so connected to Source as this was forced out. I felt that I'm not holding any energy and I'm just sitting here like being crucified, wide open, just releasing. What's weird is I still look back at that night and go, we had so much fun. In the 2 months of laughter, we had so much fun. I don't know what life would look like if I wasn't having a heart-to-heart connection with each person I meet. I want to also apologize to my brother because he was trying really hard to get me help and show me certain things. And I'm just so much more open to things that I can't see. Some of my friends pointed out that it's Ash Wednesday. On Ash Wednesday, it says, when we come forward to receive ashes on Ash Wednesday, we are saying that we are sorry for our sins and that we want to use the season of Lent to correct our faults, purify our hearts, control our desires, and grow in holiness, so we will be prepared to celebrate Easter with great joy. I am sorry. I didn't know. I'm sorry. When we use the season of Lent to correct our faults, I'm all in. I'm going to change and make it better. Purify our hearts. Everything that hurts in me, I know isn't me. So the longer I listen, the more I feel my heart. Control our desires and grow in holiness, so we will be prepared to celebrate Easter with great joy. I don't have a choice. This situation staying this way forces me into this. I don't have a choice but to say yes to what is and move into my heart on a whole new level. I will use this to change. I'm sorry. Please know there's just a little kid in here that just wants to be loved. And that little kid thinks his love is approval. And right now I'm learning to love him so he doesn't need approval. Just a little kid that wants to do well. A little kid that wants mom to say good job. A little kid that's just doing what he can to be the best version of me in the world. I'm just holding space for that little kid. I'm holding space for anyone involved, little kid. I'm holding space for you. I'm holding space for you watching this. And I'm ready to be a space for myself now and not need other people to be that space. And I want to not be your safe space. I want to not be that expectation. Maybe that's my next level, is to undo the need to have everyone be a safe space and to be a safe space for anyone. I can't match expectations. I can just do the best I can. And everyone's got expectations for everyone, and I just can't be what everyone wants me to be. And just be an amalgam of each person's expectations. And you won't have me. You'll have what you want. And I'm the same with you. I don't have any expectation of how you need to be in this anymore. I understand if you're mad. I understand if you're hurt. I understand if you feel betrayed. And all I can say is I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. But one thing I know about me is I'm really good at changing. Really good at changing. I've changed so many times in my life permanently once I see the thing. It would be so out of alignment with me to do anything like that again now that I understand. Please give me the room to make mistakes. Please. Because the best I can do is make mistakes and then call it out and say never again. And you know what? I got to give everyone room to do that. We got to give everyone room to make mistakes. For instance, if one person gets forgiven tonight from this, then this was worth it. Because it unties you from it. If one person feels like reaching out and saying, I'm sorry to someone else from this call, hopefully being that example, then we can free ourselves. What can we do with this? What can I do with this? I'm here to make it better. I'm here to grow. I'm here to make me better. And I'm here to bring a whole new element of myself to the world and to myself. Thank you for being with me tonight. Thank you for reflecting with me. Thank you for listening. So much love to everyone involved, sincerely. I'm here to make it better. Have an amazing night. Thank you.